Hey Noah, say hi to YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. Not about that life. Who are you playing?
The computer.
Clippers or
I'm on the Wizard.
my player?
Yeah.
Word. Anyway, what's good YouTube? I'm about to film my Q&A. I have a Hofbrau Munchen beer. Haven't tried it before, so I'll give a quick review as I do my Q&A. Let me get set up and then we'll get going. Alright guys, first question. This is from Darren about progressive overload and volume. What would be better for muscle growth, more volume or progressive overload? The answer is both. You can progress a higher volume and get more strength and more muscle. Elijah wants to know about the optimal surplus to be in on a bulk. I'd say about 250 to 500 calories over your maintenance. Namson asked about muscle imbalances. I'll probably do an entire video just on muscle imbalances, so I'll come back to that one at a later date. Tricks, what is the best grip for deadlifting? There is no best grip. A lot of people like to do hook grip, which is very painful. I don't personally use hook grip because of my surgically repaired right thumb. I won't be able to hold on to the bar very well. I usually use one hand over, one hand under, and just go from there. Even from tricks, how many times per week should I deadlift? Is 2 times a week overkill? As you progress, it will become overkill. I personally do 1 to 2 times a week, but my second time is a variation. I pull heavy conventional and then do light sumo work. Sam wants to know if deadlifting is safe if you have skeletal asymmetries. Individually, one leg is longer than the other. That's actually kind of fixable. If you go to a qualified PT or even a chiropractor, they can fix that for you and then you can deadlift safely. Jerry wants to know a little bit about me, my credentials. First, I went to college to study exercise science at Old Dominion University. What training style do I like? I powerlift, and then as part of my powerlifting assistance work, I'll do strongman work, I'll do bodybuilding work. Do you compete in athletics professionally? I competitively powerlift. I don't play sports anymore. I played baseball and football up until college. What type of training do I recommend? Depends. There is no right or wrong answer for someone's training. Everyone's different. Everyone has different schedules and different needs and different wants. There is no best way to do things. That's a mindset that people need to kind of grow out of. Raj wants to know when I started powerlifting. I started powerlifting first when I was 20. I had my first knee injury to my right knee, just a sprain of some sort. No, I was never into bodybuilding. The culture bores me, and it was never any fun to train. Any tips for starters? Train your bench squat and your deadlifts, 3 times a week. Nothing too complicated. Work 3x5, work 5x5, and just progress. Step by step on building blocky abs. First, that is genetic. People have different ab shapes depending on who their parents are. The best way to get good abs, even when you're at a higher body fat percentage, is to just train abs. A lot of people like to get out of training abs by saying they're stimulated enough doing compound movements, but then again, so are your triceps when you do a bench press, so are your biceps when you do a row. I don't know why people avoid doing direct ab work. It's probably because it doesn't feel good and it's hard, honestly. How do you know when to stop bulking? Typically, I recommend 16 to 24 week cycles of just adding size. You should spend more time gaining muscle than cutting down fat. About my max hypertrophy program, I wrote it to handle the volume week to week, as most of my programs are. So yes, there'll be some weeks of higher volume, but you will also need to stick to the reps in reserve that are given to you in the program. Also, a quick beer review before I get going with part 2 of my Q&A. The Hofbrau Munchen Hefe Weizen. I think I said that right. Wow. If I have any German followers, please let me know if I said that close to right. It's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Bavarian. I'm more of a dark lager / porter kind of guy. It's more of a summer drink. I could taste some hint of apple. I can also kind of taste a sulfuric taste, but it adds to the character of a beer, if that makes sense. It's not very heavy. It's a very light beer. But overall, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 10. It's a solid beer. It's good for drinking on a hot summer day, but it's not hot or summer anymore. I will stick to my usual American-made dark beer. But no, this is a very passable beer. I want you guys to see if I can, so you can kind of see what I'm trying to say. Alright, so part 2 comes from my personal page. I asked it on my Zach Hackerson page, the one I use for memes, connecting with family. Just letting people know that I have a YouTube, and people that aren't on my page that ask the same questions, you know. Alright, first question from Leah is, how and when did your fitness journey start? I was 14. I was playing football for the first time, and I was trying to put on some muscle. Really great coach. His name was Mr. Tanis. I'll never forget him. He taught me the basics of the barbell lifts, and I'll forever be grateful. If Mike, if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you very much. Bruno asked if I could choose a workout partner, anyone, who would it be? The 83 kilo weight powerlifters of late seem really cool to work with. John Hack, Brett Gibbs, or probably Russell Oy. They have, good training sessions. Saraf wants to know how am I? Pretty good. I just came back from a family reunion up in Pisgah, Maryland, which is in the middle of nowhere, but it was nice to see, family. It's where the Hackersons come from. Evan Ellis wants to know about anxiety and eating. This is why I try very hard not to give out macros anymore. People need to learn how to love food. People need to learn how to appreciate how to eat, portion sizes, food that is relatively good for you. I know there's no such thing as good or bad food, but we all know that blueberries have more micronutrient value than Skittles do. And plus, you can have more blueberries at less calories than you can Skittles. My best advice, dude, is to just take a deep breath, step back, and realize that as long as you're in a calorie deficit, it's not that serious. If you're not going pro in fitness, it's not that serious. And I'd rather you learn how to portion size than to meticulously count and weigh every gram of food. Can walking hurt your knees? Depends on who you are. Depends on your past injury history. And I should leave it at that because I have no other context for the question. Tara wants to know what is the best indicator that it's time to switch from one lift to another. You can stick to the same lift indefinitely. The biggest problem with that is people just get bored. When you start getting bored and your training sessions just become unbearable, change something up. Whether it be the lift you're doing, the rep range you're in, or even the program you're on, just change it up. Quan wants to know about sarcoplasmic and myofibrillar hypertrophy and if they actually exist. They do, but one doesn't exist without the other. For example, if I were to do a 3x5, both will be stimulated. If I were to do a 10x10 German volume, you still have both myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Say that 5 times fast. Eugene wants to know if someone would be able to deadlift more going barefoot as opposed to wearing Chuck Taylors. In competition, people have deadlifted some extremely heavy weight wearing Chuck Taylors. Could they have done 1 to 2 kilos or like 5 to 10 pounds more barefoot? Is yet to be seen, because in competition where all these records are set, you're not allowed to go barefoot. In general, probably yes, because you're that much closer to the ground, but in the grand scheme of things, I feel like it doesn't make that big of a difference. Is it beneficial to work chest twice a week in order to grow and strengthen the chest and push muscles in general? That depends, again, on who you are, your training age, what your goals are. If you really want to move more weight, you need to do the same movement more often. That's specific. The theory of specificity applies to everything in life. No more so than in strength training and fitness. Most beginners can probably get away with once a week. and just getting better at recovering. If you're an intermediate and your lifts still aren't going up, you need to start adding more frequency to your routine. By the way, as I drink this beer more, the more it grows on me. There's some appley hints to it. It's not as sharp as it was when I first opened the can, and I probably should have poured it because most beers that are Bavarian are meant to be poured, not drank out of a bottle. Anyway, that's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for being patient with me. I don't know why I started to get up. It's been a very hectic week. One of the trainers on staff went on vacation, so the workload got split between less people. So I've been tired throughout the week. I haven't been able to film as much as I wanted to. And I just ran out of time because I'd go to bed as soon as I got home. Anyway, I'm going to try to get more consistent with my uploads again, and I'll see y'all next time. Alright, yo, I'm back. I just finished filming the Q&A video. I know I said it was done, but I feel like people are thinking when I say it depends or I don't know, it's a cop-out. Each person's individual situation will be different. The best examples I can give are either myself or the clients I work with. And for the most part, the clients I work with won't be applicable to the people that are on Facebook/YouTube/Instagram. Because they're mostly older adults trying to move better. Which, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but they're not the goals that most of you guys have. Guys, this is a very individual thing that we do, lifting weights. People react differently to different diets, to different sleep schedules, to different lifts, to different programs. So you just have to really be patient. You have to take the time to find what works best for you. We got some good ideas on what doesn't work, but you just have to be patient and trust the process and play, don't be afraid to play around for 3 to 6 months, testing things out. Because that's the best way to learn what works best for you and your individual needs. Alright guys, now I'm done. I have playoff baseball on. I will be back tomorrow, some Shop Sunday. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening.